I see a big crowd. I see a lot of familiar faces, so just come in a little bit closer, guys. Save me shouting. This is Chloe's Comet.
Spirit of boom.
This is the gelded.
Yes.
This is the one. Got gelded early.
Yeah, he was carrying.
Yeah, this horse, guys, is the Spirit of Boom out of a mare, Chloe's Comet. Chloe's Comet's by Northern Meteor, so obviously got plenty of substance in the breeding. Those of you that with an eye for a horse, you have a look, they don't get much healthier than this guy having a look at. You can see he's covered in dapples, holding his condition, and probably one of the more favourable aspects of this horse, he's already a gelding. That for some of us is always pleasurable because they're so much easier to handle, and that's the reason, as I just asked Paul, why was he gelded early? Because he was a bit of a lad. He was hard to handle, and that can often happen. He's been with us a week, Jared, a bit over a week.
2 weeks.
Eh?
2 weeks.
Yeah. Riders are happy with him?
Lovely. They're both two 2-year-olds, lovely under saddle. This guy carries himself really well, stretches out really well. He's got lovely action on him.
I'll translate for you guys. He's got a lovely action, moves well. He's from South Africa, so I apologise for that. You haven't ridden him yet, Jared?
I haven't ridden him, but he looks very, very nice to ride. All positive remarks from the riders anyway. On another note, the Dam's a Northern Media family, which is really valuable. As in, he was the first season champion sire, who threw Zooster obviously, and he was one of the few colts available. And he actually passed away in his first season, covering mares and champion sire. So it's an extremely valuable breeding line, anyways.
And she could run a bit. She was
Yeah, she won a couple
70
of 5.
horse, won 100 odd thousand. So it's a nice family.
So Jared, for the unknown amongst us, what sort of work has he been doing with you?
Mainly just pace work. So Bernie, who did a great job with them, did a lot of educational work through the barriers and everything. We've just kept them ticking over by doing pace work on different tracks just to get them used to the routine of how we do things in the different track, and they've just copped everything really well. For young horses, they just settled right into the swing of things, and they're probably at that stage where you could just step them up slightly if you wanted to push on this preparation. But
which we will. We're going to pop the question. I mean, with the youngsters, those of you that have known us long enough know that it's 3 steps forward and 2 back. We put pressure on them. If they cope with it, they continue to eat well, they don't get cranky and start throwing riders off, then we keep going. I'd love to get the horse to jump out trial stage if indeed we can, but that of course comes down to staying sound, staying healthy, and still enjoying their training. Mentally, when they switch off, you generally got to give them a break, but you can see he's just got a beautiful nature, does everything right. Very healthy to look at. So as Jared says, next week we start stepping his work up. If he copes with it, we'll get him to a short jump out. And then from the short jump out, longer jump out trial, and then maybe even the races. But a lot of that, it's an unknown factor until you put the pressure on them. But physically and mentally, the horse is good to keep going.
And shares still available.
Yep.
So there's a fair bit of work's gone into him. We bought him in March last year, so he's had all of his early education stuff, so he's closer to the races than a lot of stuff.
I mean, that's the unknown, is that he could go all the way to the trials and the races, or we could get him there and he could start to feel his shin soreness. As you know, it's just growth pains to a degree, a little bit of immaturity, but physically he's at a stage where we're happy to push on. His knees, just visually looking at him, his knees are probably just still open a touch. I can just see even looking from this far away, but certainly no problems there. We'll know more in the next 2 weeks when we start to put a bit more pressure on him. He's a lovely horse. He's a lovely horse to look at. He's from a nice family and he's got a great temperament. We just hope he's got a good motor. Thanks, Jared. Who's next?